Hello, this is Jordan Nelson in week 4 of the Interactive Advanced presentation, and we are doing the elephant toothpaste experiment. So, just to give a quick little rundown of what we're doing. So, we are going to be adding ideally 10% hydrogen peroxide solution into our jar here. I only have 3% on hand, so I'm hoping just adding a little bit more of it will work. Then I will be adding a couple of drops of the dish soap, adding some food coloring to that, then setting that aside, and then getting my yeast with my hot water, and then I'll be pouring that into our little concoction of hydrogen peroxide, dish soap, and food coloring, and hopefully elephant toothpaste comes out. All right, so let's get started. So let's pour in the hydrogen peroxide. And normally, like when you see all the videos online and stuff, there's like a very narrow-mouthed, it's probably a lot of, that should be good. It's a very narrow-mouthed like container, so when it sort of like pushes out, it's sort of like, you know, it's like a little cylinder and it sort of explodes everywhere. This being a larger mouth, I don't know if the pressure will be enough to do that, but I guess we'll see. Do a couple drops. Oh, this is really dropping in drops. Here we go. Okay. Put one little more, that should be good. Okay. All right. That over there. That over there. Let's get our food coloring. Do red, green, and blue, RGB. A couple drops of each. That's sort of spreading around everywhere, isn't it? I thought these would sort of stay in their corners, but I guess that makes sense. Okay. So let me get my yeast. Actually, let's get our hot water first. Actually, no, we'll go ahead and pour the yeast in. All right, I'm just gonna give a quick little rundown of what exactly is happening here. So, about 50 mLs of the hydrogen peroxide, we mix with the soap, and this sort of acts, we use the yeast as a catalyst to make the hydrogen peroxide decompose very fast. So what happens is the hydrogen peroxide breaks down to oxygen and water, and a small amount of the hydrogen peroxide gives a large amount of oxygen. So that's where you see all the sort of, you know, the expansion and sort of pushes everything out of the way, right? So the soapy water actually traps the oxygen, making the bubbles, which turns to foam. And then we have the food coloring in there just so you can sort of see, like, you know, all the stuff that's going on. So yeah, let me go. Stir. All right, well, here goes nothing. I really hope this doesn't make a huge mess. well. What I think happened is that hydrogen peroxide wasn't concentrated enough, so it doesn't really react as we would like to with the catalyst of the yeast, because the Dawn soap sort of captures the oxygen, like we were saying, so that's not really a reactant here. It's more so the peroxide and the yeast. But just to give you a chemical sort of breakdown of what was supposed to happen. So the experiment sort of shows decomposition of hydrogen peroxide with the catalyst of yeast. That sort of, excels what's going on. So what happens is the hydrogen peroxide breaks down into water and oxygen gas in the form of foam. But normally, when that happens, the decomposition is pretty slow. So it could be sort of like what's happening here is that you see like this little itty bitty foam, not really much is happening. And the yeast is the catalyst sort of supposed to speed that up, right? And yeah, that's oh, chill. That's really it. I appreciate your time and thank you.